Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jen on the YouTube streets as well as all my social media platforms. If you enjoy my content, I would love to have you here. Please make sure that you click that red subscribe button on the bottom, and also don't forget to smash that like button because it does help with the YouTube algorithm. So let us get into the point of this video. Normally these videos tend to be very long, and I'm hoping that this one is not going to be very long, but we are going to be doing my monthly resets. As you have seen, I was in my office just setting up my spreads. I want us to look at my October goals in terms of how did it go, and then we're gonna review the month, and then we're gonna start with November. So we're gonna start with financial goals. When it comes to my financial goals, I wanted to save a minimum of 5,000 in total, and in total I was able to save 12,220. Now I know that you guys are gonna be like, Jen, how did that happen? You say you want to save 5,000 and then you were able to save 12,000. I can't get into details, but all I can say is I ended up getting paid more than what I envisioned to get paid at work, and so I saved all of that. All of the extra money that I got paid from work, I just saved it. So it ended up being 12,210 that I was able to save in the month of October. And then I wanted to put together funds for printing production of my journals. By the way, I didn't print my journals internationally like with most people. Like most people go with Alibaba, find vendors there and what. I didn't go that route. I found a company locally because I was limited with the number. Like when you go internationally, you have to buy this big number, and so I went with a local company based in Durban, and so they're the ones who are printing my journals. I love their customer service. I like that I have one person that I'm talking to who's been helping me when it comes to my journal in terms of just making sure that everything comes out properly. So I was able to put together funds for printing of my journals. They're currently being printed. Yesterday when I spoke to the guy that I communicate with to follow up, he said that I will have my journals late next week, which means that the first few days of November, I'm going to have my journals with me. I'm so excited. I'm honestly so excited because the one that I have with me, it's what is it? It's a sample. You know, it's not even binded. It's a sample, and I've made changes on the cover and all the other stuff looking at the sample. So I can't wait to get my journals. That way I can actually start taking pictures of the formal journals. And then so those are my financial goals. I didn't have a lot for October. For personal goals, I wanted to go on a solo date or a pamper session. I didn't do this, guys. I've been just swamped with work, always just more so focused on working rather than to say take a break and pamper yourself. I can take a break and chill, but then to say take a break, go spend money, Uchenif. And then let's go into my social media goals. When it comes to my social media goals, guys, my social media platforms have been doing amazing. Like, I feel like the social media gods have been on my side lately. Because if I'm being honest, I have struggled with social media for a long time. I have struggled. Like, it didn't just happen overnight. I know that for people that are finding me now or seeing me now, you may think that it happened overnight, but these things did not happen overnight. Hey, ngishizilile, guys. Yengi shizilile. I have struggled when it comes to these things. Like working, posting consistently and not seeing any results, posting and like 200 people watch, 400 people watch. Like, I have shizzled, darling. But through consistency and just putting my content out there, my social media has grown, especially my YouTube channel. And then recently I started venturing into other social media platforms, and wow, we'll get into that. Let me just start here. So I wanted to post 14 times on YouTube. So far we have posted about 12 times, because I don't know how I missed it, but yeah, I didn't post. I'm not gonna post 14 times, 12 times. There was a time whereby I didn't post on a Sunday. There was a last Sunday I didn't post on that Sunday. No, not Sunday. I did not post. Yeah, I did not post at all. I posted on Tuesday. Then now I have to post. It's a Friday today. I was supposed to post it yesterday on Thursday, but I didn't. So I'm going to post today on Friday. And then I'm going to post again on Sunday, which is going to be this video that you guys are watching. And then the last video will be on Tuesday, which will be concluding Vlogtober. So I would say that for Vlogtober, I've been doing very well. Missing one video on Vlogtober based on what I planned is actually not a bad thing. So I would give myself a pat on the back on that one. Start and finish for October. I think we are going to finish for October. And then create and post 8 reels and 4 normal posts, guys. So for normal post, nah, Nah. But well, with the reels, I wanted to create 8, ne? Let me just go on my profile and check. By the way, on Instagram now, if you're not following me, I'm gonna put it here. Yeah, please go follow me there. We're actually in the same level with YouTube, like in terms of numbers of followers. On Instagram right now, I'm sitting in 15,100 followers, which is a nice thing. And then when it comes to the reels that I posted, let me count them. I think I posted about 8, if not 9. Yeah, and I'm still gonna post. There's one that I'm gonna post today. So when it comes to reels, I've really been consistent when it comes to Instagram, and I feel like that has also been showing with my growth. But I don't think that the growth has been coming because of consistency when it comes to Instagram. I'm just gonna be honest with you, because I don't want you guys to think, oh, if I just keep posting, I'm gonna grow on Instagram. Instagram algorithm is something else. When it comes to social media, that is it. And then I wanted to just bring you in on TikTok, guys. In October, I started TikTok. October, ne? Was it October or last week of September? But not so long ago, like maybe about 4 weeks or 3 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago, let me just say 4 weeks ago, I started TikTok. I did not have an account before, so I created an account. I've had an account before, which I then didn't continue with. So this time around, I had to start with a new account that has the same name as all my social media platforms. And so I started that account. I posted a video. No one watched it. For weeks and weeks and weeks, it was getting no views. And then all of a sudden, it started getting views. And then I was just like, oh, okay, TikTok. I started posting like consistently. Like I posted another video, and then that video just took out like this. Like when I look at my TikTok now, guys, I'm also gonna put it here. If you're not following me there, please go follow me. On that video that I posted is on 400,000 views. The other one that I also posted is on 300 and something views. Those are the highest ranking views, but highest ranking videos. But some have been doing well, like they're on 45,000, 30 something thousand. Basically, right now on TikTok in a month, guys, I've managed to hit 10,000 followers. In a month on TikTok, I've been able to get to 10,000 followers from 0, guys. When I posted the first video, which was the cash stuffing video, I had 0 followers, and for months, for weeks and weeks, no one was watching that video until it started picking up. And then I got like 150 views in like a week of that video. And then I was just like, oh, okay, TikTok. And then I started posting, and then since then my TikTok has been growing. Now let's get into my career goals. When it comes to my career goals, I wanted to finalize my journal. Did. Perfect. Send it for printing. Did. Yes. And then onboard 1 financial mentoring client for 3 months. I had a goal to onboard 1 client, which I had already started speaking to, and I did know that, okay, we are going to start working together. But then now I have got 3 clients in my financial mentorship program. Now let me just talk about this very quickly. So remember that I said on my website that I had a coaching session where I said, okay, for 1 hour, you can come, you can chat with me, we can consult regarding your finances. I scrapped that idea because for me, it was just not resonating with what I want to achieve and the real impact that I want to have. And I also understand that you cannot help someone with their finances for just 1 hour. It is just not practical. And so I decided to just scrap that all together and just say, okay, let's let go of that. And so now what I decided to do is to do a financial mentorship, not coaching, because I feel like coaching, you have to be like an expert in the thing, and I'm not an expert. However, I've got experiences that have taken me through to where I am. And so I want to share my experiences and also just use my experiences to help someone else. And so that is why I call it a mentorship program. And so I've got a financial mentorship program that runs for 3 months. And so what I do is I work with you for 3 months on your finances. We meet many times through Zoom, through WhatsApp video. We are able to chat as well, and we talk about your finances. We work on your finances. We set up goals. We look at what I do is on the first month or on the first few sessions, we are looking at the problem, understanding what is the problem, understanding what we can do, what we can change, and then we set up strategies, and then from there we start working on that. You start working on that. My goal is to just be there and be your cheerleader and just be that person to keep you accountable, to make sure that you are able to stick to the strategies that we have put in place. So that is the program that I have right now. It runs for 3 months, and right now I'm not taking any clients because 3 people is more than enough for me right now. I don't want to stretch myself too thin, and I also want to focus on the 3 people that I have because this is my first time, and I just want to make sure that I hone it in. And then when I launch it formally next year in January, which I'm going to put it on my website. Right now when you go on my website, you won't find anything regarding this, but when I put it in January, then it will be refined, and I would know, okay, that this is where I feel like I'm able to give more, and then I will do that. But it's really just been going well. I've been enjoying talking to the ladies, and I feel like they've also been enjoying talking to me and just learning and just seeing some progress. It's really been amazing. Like some ladies, like the person that joined first, she has been doing amazing, so amazing. Like I think by the end of this year, we would have tackled all of her debt. For people that do need my help, like in terms of just being their accountability partner, helping them understand their finances, do know that in January I'll be formally launching that. I'll formally be announcing that, and then you can enroll, and I'm always going to have a limited number that I'm going to take in the 3 months. Like I'm not going to take a lot of people because I understand that if I really want to make impact, I don't want to take a lot of people. So yeah, I've got 3 clients there. We're working together up until December. The other one we're going to be working together up until mid-January. Now let us review how October went. What I love about this reflection section that we're going to be doing is that I took it from my journal that I designed, that you guys, if you decide to buy, you'll get this. Like it's not just a journal. That's one thing I love about my journal. Like the way that I did it, I wanted to be all encompassing but also not doing too much. You will see before I launch, I'm gonna do a flip through so that you guys see what you can expect from it. But it's not just a page spread of a budget where you just write your numbers and what, but it also requires you to introspect, to review your month, write how you feel, like write how things went and all the stuff. So I took all of these questions from the journal, which are prompts. Each and every month you're going to have prompts that are going to allow you to actually reflect properly on the month, instead of thinking, how did the month went, and then having to think from the top of your head. But there will be prompts that will guide you in terms of how to reflect for the month. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm honestly so excited. So when it comes to the reflection for October, we're going to start. The first part is this month I'm grateful for. So I'm grateful for completing my financial journal. I am so grateful for that, guys. Like I am beyond grateful. Like I don't even have words to express how grateful I am to have been able to complete that. I'm also grateful for sending it to the printers. This was also a challenge of mine, having to find a printer, and then when I found the printer, having to explain to them that this is what I want. Like I don't want this, I want this. So it was a big challenge, guys. Like getting through that was a big challenge, but I'm so grateful that I was able to get through that. And then I'm also grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for the community that I have here on YouTube, because it is because of you that this journal is real. Like in terms of the fact that I'm going to be receiving these journals and I'm going to be launching these journals. I'm also going to be using these journals. You guys are going to be using these journals next year. I am grateful for you guys, because it is because of you that this is possible. When I say it's because of you guys, I'm not downplaying it. I am not downplaying it at all. The reason why I was able to do this, the reason why I was able to send this to the printers and actually afford to do it, is because of you. You guys who watch the ads, you guys who do not skip those ads when they come through, you guys who show up each and every time I drop a video and you watch my content, even if you don't watch all the ads, but for you to show up each and every time, you guys are the reason why I was able to afford this. Because each and every month when I was getting paid labo 2,000, labo 3,000, what I'll do is I'll put it away. I don't normally spend my YouTube money except for paying for the cost associated to YouTube, which is about 500 and something, but the rest of that I save it. From that money, from that basket of money, from that pool of money, I was able to afford paying for this. But also not just on the YouTube money, CV editing. People who found me on YouTube and then inquired about my CV editing services and then actually went through that, whereby I was actually editing their CVs. Like, I've edited so many CVs in the past months. Like, even this month, I've edited so many CVs. So that money that I get from editing CVs, I save it. So I've been saving it and putting it aside. And when you add that money from CV editing, you add the money from the budgeting templates that you guys buy on my website, you add the money that I get paid from YouTube, I was able to do this. And so please do not take yourself for granted. The impact that you are having on my life as well as on this channel, please do not take it for granted, because you have so much impact, and I'm so grateful to each and every one of you. And then this month's challenges in terms of October, it was the fear of failure, guys. As much as I did all these things, put all these things, every time whenever I was faced with a decision to make, especially relating to money, the stress I had, and the stress would be because of fear. I would ask myself, like, are you really willing to spend this money? You could keep this money and you'll be fine. You can just save this money, you can invest this money, it can grow for you. It manifested as self-sabotage because I started procrastinating a lot. Very naturally, I do procrastinate. But guys, in October, I procrastinated a lot, not just with my business, but also when it comes to my YouTube channel. I'll leave things up until last minute. I'll leave a video up until last minute, be done with it, then rush to post it, because I just felt, I just kept doubting myself. I kept downplaying everything that I was doing, and I was self-sabotaging. And it hasn't been an easy month. Like, even working on these journals hasn't been an easy thing. There were times whereby I was so stressed that I felt like I was gonna lose my hair because of just how stressful it was. But then what I'm learning is the fears will always be there. They're never gonna go away. I will always have those fears, because when you're doing something, sorry guys if you can hear that, they're checking our meter for electricity. I like that they come and check the meter for electricity and water each and every month before they send us a bill. I was saying that fear will always be there. It's not going to go away. What I can do is just work through it, and also just trust and have faith that the vision that God placed in me is what is meant for me, and that the fruits of my labor will show eventually. They may not show immediately, but they will show eventually. And so I've just been hanging on that. Now let's get into another one. Another one is, this month what I learned this month is that fear will always be there. It is how I deal with it that matters. And then I'm also learning to trust myself. I learned to trust myself. Trust, as I said, trust the vision that God has put in me. Trust the fact that I am in alignment, that I'm where I'm supposed to be, that what has been destined for me will be for me. And when I look at the impact that I'm making, having people to talk about you without you even being in the room and saying good things in terms of the things that you are helping them with, that for me is the vision that God has put in me, and it coming to fruition. And then the last part of the reflection is November. I'm going to be focusing on launching my journal. So I'm going to be just honing in all of my attention on that. And then I'm also going to be focusing on planning for December. I like to plan for December ahead because it is a tough month. But whenever I'm planning for December, I also think of January. So yeah, and you will see also when I'm doing my budget that I've already started planning for January. Imagine, I've already started saving I'm going to be starting to save for January in November. That is just how I think and how I plan, especially for the festive season as well as January, because festive season needs a lot of money. January, doesn't need as much money, but then most of the time you find that we don't have enough money. So I try to make sure that festive season I've got money, enough money, and then in January I make sure that I've got money for me to be sustained until I get paid. So that is it when it comes to the reflection of October. October went well, very challenging, but I'm so glad that I went through all those challenges, that I came through it. I came through it on the other side, much more victorious, having learned something and having done something. I can't wait to receive the journals because it will be a manifestation, a physical manifestation of all the work that I have put in these few weeks that I have been working on it. I think about 2 months now. So yeah, so now we're gonna get into November. When it comes to November, guys, my camera is heating up. It's gonna switch off anytime. Let's get into November. When it comes to November, there's really not a lot of goals that I've put for myself because I'm gonna be focusing on launching my business. So what I've done is I've got one goal for financial goal. I want to save a total of 6,000. If we're able to save more than that, good. And then another goal that I have is business goal. So under business, I want to launch my journal. And then there's a lot that will be going under there, but it's not goals. It's more so things, activities that have to happen in order for me to have a successful launch. So I didn't want to have a lot of goals to work on. I also don't have social media goals because I feel like I've hit most of my goals for social media. Besides YouTube, the goal is to get to 20,000 by end of the year. I don't know if we're going to do that, but the progress that I've made on all my social media platforms, especially YouTube, I feel like I'm good. So let's get into the budget for November. I'm gonna go back to my office now where we are gonna do it together. I'm gonna just take you through each and every item in my budget. So we're gonna start with my income. When it comes to my income, obviously for work, I don't normally put that here on social media, but with YouTube, I think that I am going to get paid about 3,000 because in the month of October, my earnings for YouTube really went down. But I also understand I took 2 weeks off YouTube in the month of October, but my earnings had already started going down before I took the break. And so now with Vlogtober, I think it started picking up. That right now I am on 3,000. So I do think that I will get paid 3,000 or more in the month of November. So I'm putting 3,000 there. And then for other income, I am putting in 4,580. And then now let's get into my savings. So when it comes to my savings, they're just standard savings, which is emergency fund, and normally there is 1,210. And then the education fund for my daughter, that is 1,000. I keep these two, by the way, on Frank Group. And then when it comes to 2024 school fees, that is 1,000. November is the last month that we are contributing towards the stockfall. So our stockfall starts from January up until November. December, we do not make any deposits. And then for other savings, I would love to see myself saving about 3,000 here. It might be more, it might be less, but my goal is at least for it to be 3,000. And then in total, this is about 6,210. And by the way, by the time I put my numbers here, I've already done the budget on the scrapbook where I can scratch and do all that other stuff, like figure out, make sure that everything is balancing. So by the time it comes here, I've already done the calculation. And then for YouTube, someone asked, what are YouTube costs? Like, what am I paying for YouTube? So you can have a YouTube channel and not pay for anything. Like if you don't have music, you can just have the YouTube music that they have, which is free. You can also not pay for anything else. So, but for me, because I'm honestly I take my YouTube seriously. Like it is my additional stream of income, and I'm willing to spend on it just to make sure that I get the results that I want in terms of the videos that I put out. And so I am investing on YouTube. And so For Canva, this is where I do my thumbnails, but I also use Canva for my other things as well. But that is where I do my thumbnails. So for Canva, I pay 110. And then for Epidemic Sound, this is the music subscription for people that have been asking where I get my music. I get it from Epidemic Sound, and that is 270. And then Apple subscription, it includes my normal Apple subscription, but then also TubeBuddy, I pay it from the Apple subscription. So it is grouped together. So together it is about 200 rands. I just put all of it together instead of splitting it. And then when it comes to my weekly allocation, it's going to be slightly different in the month of November because of just the way that I looked at the way things are going already and just trying to plan ahead. I am going to bundle up some weeks so that I can stretch my money. That I feel that makes sense. So from 26 until the 9, then it's gonna be week 1, and I'm going to be just putting, and actually it's not even week 1, it's actually more than 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks. Yeah, it's 2 weeks. And here I'm putting 1,500. And then for the other week, the second week, which will be basically the third week, it's going to be 600. And the reason why I'm putting lesser amount here is because at work we're closing on the 15th and I'm going home during that weekend, so I don't really need to buy a lot of groceries during this week. Like, I don't even need to bother at all. And the schools, I think, will be closed around this time, so I don't really need to worry about that. And then normally I would have week 3, week 4, but what I've decided is, since in December I'm going to spend most of my time at home, I then want to save this money for the week 3 and week 4 and save it for January, because January is one of the longest months and I like to plan ahead, especially once we get to November, December. I like to plan ahead. My budgets, normally they feature savings for January because I know that that's when I'm going to need the money. And so I'm just going to save that money for January, and I'm putting in here 2,000. So this is going to be the edit. It's going to be part of the savings, but it just falls under here. And then so the total for here would be 4,100. And then let's get into my expenses. When it comes to my expenses, I've got 1 month ahead. If you guys have been watching my channel for a long time, you understand what is this. But if you are new here, a 1 month ahead is basically me putting money aside for some of my fixed expenses that I do not get billed when I get paid. I get billed after I've gotten paid. So now what I do is I am ahead of that, meaning that when I get billed, I've already put money aside for this thing in the previous month. It's just that it's saved. So when I get the bills, what I do is I just pay those amounts, and then when I get paid, I save for the following month. So it's a 1 month ahead. So normally here, this includes my water, my rates and levies, my water and electricity rates and levies, as well as municipality rates. So normally together they amount to about 2,800. And then for insurance here, this is the car insurance as well as the home contents insurance. This is 1,050. And then for petrol, I am budgeting 1,500. I'm finding that the petrol money, sometimes it's enough, sometimes it's not enough. But for now, we're just going to keep it at that. Life cover, it is 300. And then funeral cover, it is 490. And then rain, which is my Wi-Fi, it is 560. And then for MTN, which is my cell phone contract as well as data, I've got 2 contracts with MTN. I've had data contract for years now, and then the cell phone contract is the one that I just added this year, and together they amount to, I'm just rounding it off to 900, but it's less than that. And then for Netflix is 200 rands. And then for Mdase 1, it is 400. Mdase 2, 500. And then school, normally we pay for aftercare, and this month they said we need to pay 700 and something, and so I just group it together with the money that I stuff on the envelopes for when my daughter wants to carry some money at school, or when there are activities that need like little money, like maybe 20 rands, 10 rands. I just like to have an envelope that has money for her, just in case those things do come up in the month. So all grouped together, it is 830. And then when it comes to then there is graduation that is coming up for the grade R's for my daughter, and so they asked that we buy some things for them. Her dad is gonna cover the entrance, because they have to pay to graduate, guys. These schools, he's gonna cover that, and then I'm gonna cover the part of buying her the things that they need. And so I'm just putting 250 there, and then for me I am putting 300. In October, guys, it was so rough, such that when I was doing my cash stuffing, I did not even have enough money to put for my envelopes. I don't know if I will, given that I've gotten paid from YouTube and my other income. I'll figure it out. But last month, October was rough. And then bank charges, I just normally put 200 rands. And then we're doing this thing in the office called Secret Santa. So there I am putting in 200 rands. And then clothes, I want to buy clothes for myself. But now that I'm realizing that I was off here with rain. I put 200 rands, which means there were 300 rands that I was off with. So for clothes, for now, just to be safe, I'm gonna put 800 rands. Yeah, I would love to buy myself clothes as well as something for my daughter. I don't know if 800 rands is enough. I think I'll just get one outfit for myself, if I'm being honest, with the 800 rands, given the status of the economy in this country. So let me just calculate this again, because there are changes now. 11,280. So then what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to put the money. I'm gonna just do the summary here. So I'm just gonna put now 11,000 here, 11,280, and then for savings the total is 6,210, and then for YouTube it is 580. Ne? It is 580, and then for weekly allowance it is 4,100. And then together, let me just calculate on my side, even though I'm not gonna put the total with you guys, but I just want to see how much it's going to be. When I calculate everything, I'm on a positive. Actually, there's money that is left, which I can then put on clothes or anywhere else, but we are not over budget. We are actually under budget, which is a good thing. So what we're gonna do now is, since I'm done with this, we're gonna go back to where we started, and we're gonna close off this video. Now that we are done with all of that, I'm gonna close off this video right here. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this video and that this inspires you to keep doing your monthly research. I know that we've been doing it all along the year, but I know that also leading up to the end of the year, we do get discouraged a lot. And so I do hope that you continue to do it until the end of the year, because it's very important that you reset, that you set a budget for each and every month. With that being said, I'll see you guys on the next one. Please take care and stay safe. Bye.